Jennifer Iserloh, author of Secrets of a Skinny Chef, believes the essence of good health and happiness springs from our own kitchen. To show us just how good food can make us feel good, Jennifer is here to make quinoa-crusted chicken fingers. I almost couldn't get that out. I was too excited about the chicken. Okay, so let's talk about what dish we're going to make today and why it's going to make us feel good.
Well, first of all, everyone loves tender chicken. It's a kid favorite. It's an American classic dish, but we're going to make this a whole lot healthier. So why don't we go ahead and get the chicken started. I've already breaded some chicken, and I'm going to explain about the quinoa in just a second.
Okay.
So go ahead and put that in your olive oil.
Those
are ones I've breaded up, right. And quinoa is actually a whole grain. It's a seed that comes from South America that the Aztecs used to use.
That's pretty low. We're going to turn that up.
And the Aztecs used to use it as a superfood, and they would eat quinoa before they would go on the battlefield. And it's no wonder, because it's really protein-packed and has plenty of other good minerals and vitamins and things that can help you from feeling blue. Things like manganese and magnesium, which actually relax blood vessels, and it can relax your muscles, too.
And obviously, some people take these as vitamins, but it's so much better to actually eat these things like the manganese.
Right, and it's even better when you know you're eating something that tastes good and is delicious like quinoa.
I know, this smells good already. Should I bread one of these things too, just
to
show everyone how to do it?
So season up your chicken first. I use some garlic powder, paprika, and salt. Season your chicken first.
All right, just over the plate like this.
Right.
Garlic powder.
And the great thing about quinoa is you can find it in any health food store. It's something that kids love because it looks like a little pasta shape. Has a mild flavor. Super, super fast to cook. I'm sure you've tried couscous.
Yes.
Well, quinoa cooks in about 15 minutes. The trick is just to rinse it first because sometimes it has a bitter residue. So give it a rinse and then bring about 2 cups of water to the boil and a cup of quinoa. Bring it to a boil, cover, and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. That's all it takes.
Do I have to season both sides? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's always a good idea. I like lots of seasoning on
Me
mine,
too.
so it's perky.
Okay.
Okay, and you want to put a little bit of quinoa in your breadcrumbs?
Oh, right, and the egg. I'm like listening to you because it's such good information. And
just press the quinoa. You can actually just squeeze it a little bit with your finger. So while you're doing that, I'm going to cut up some limes for our broccoli.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to start with another piece. I should dip this in the egg.
Right, first in your egg and then in your quinoa breadcrumb mixture. And I mean, the great thing about the quinoa as well is that breadcrumbs have a tendency to be very salty. They're high in sodium. So you're getting a whole grain in there. You're getting 2 whole grains. They're whole grain breadcrumb plus the quinoa, but you're cutting back on that sodium. So this is a really great kid-friendly meal. You can make this on a Friday. Go ahead and bread them, freeze them in Ziploc bags, and stick them in your freezer and have them all week.
Oh, so you would do this before you would cook it, obviously. You'd freeze it before you cooked it.
Right.
That's
and there's
great.
no need to defrost them first. You could just put this whole pan, after you brown both sides, slide it into a preheated oven, and then dinner's on the table in about 15 minutes.
I love that it has that extra texture, too.
I know.
So not only
that is a great breading job, by the way.
Why, thank you very
I can
much.
see you have a lot of experience
Oh,
in the
yes.
kitchen.
Could you tell by the non-egg dip first? I'm looking for
I was
a
distracting
napkin, but I'm okay. Okay, so we're going to cook these. And now, when you talk about the skinny chef, thank you. Now, are all your meals gluten-free?
No, I don't specialize in gluten-free cooking, but most of what I do is home-style foods that are prepared in a delicious way, but I ramp up the health benefits by using superfoods and super healthy ingredients.
So these are things that are going to make you happy, especially on days like January 25th.
That's right, exactly. And that's what I was mentioning about, you know, the manganese and magnesium that you find in quinoa. And, you know, a lot of healthy foods, things like broccoli and spices and herbs, they contain these compounds that can affect your blood chemistry, and that's why we're meant to eat them.
Right.
But, you know, the other benefit to them is that they taste incredible. Look at that golden crust that the quinoa is making.
I know,
on
it
these
looks
chicken
beautiful.
fingers. I'm going to start our broccoli over
Okay, do that. I smell the sesame oil already.
Right, so I just put a little sesame oil in.
Ooh,
Some broccoli florets. And if you like takeout, this is excellent. It has
so
the
much
same,
better for you,
minus
too.
the grease. And, you know, there's a lot of studies that, you know, oily takeout food that has a lot of saturated fat can actually bring on the blues.
Oh,
so you want to use oils,
that.
that are high in monounsaturated fats. Those are good for your mood. So I added my broccoli here.
Okay.
And I'm going to mix up the sauce while this is cooking.
You still want these tongs?
Yeah, you can just tuck them right in there. Okay, and over
these
here
are almost done. Would you finish these in the oven?
You can, or if you just want to turn down the temperature a little bit and just cook them right on the stove top.
Okay,
and you can
do that.
Yeah, you can buy the chicken tenders already sliced at the grocery store, or you can cut your own if you want to save money.
Okay,
Either way.
Good tip.
So over here I've got some low sodium beef broth. I'm going to put low sodium soy. I always use the low sodium because you can always season a little bit after, but you want to make sure when you're cooking something healthy that you're watching the salt intake.
Right.
A little bit of brown sugar for sweetness. I've got grated ginger and garlic in here. Of course, garlic broccoli. Cornstarch, and most of these things you'll find in your cabinet. So this is something that, you know, if your family really loves it, you can make it a regular.
And we're going to make that little sauce and throw it in here.
That's all there is to it.
That's all there is to it.
Really easy. I have some scallions here. I'm going to put some lime juice, and I'm going to add a little extra lime because I really like the flavor of lime.
It gives it a nice little kick. So you just throw this in and then saute it up. Serve it with your chicken. I'm going to taste this one over here while you keep doing that.
You know, Sarah, the key to healthy cooking is to make it taste great, so that you don't even notice that you're getting all these health benefits. But, you know, as my granny always said, there is nothing better tasting than a home-cooked meal. And when you do it yourself,
healthy food.
Right, you can control the sodium, the sugar, you can use more vegetables. There's so many creative, fun, easy ways to cook healthy meals.
I agree with you, Jennifer. Thank you so much. And healthy food makes you feel better.